I'll give you some examples. Take cell phones. They change pretty rapidly. It's every year or two it seems that there's a new feature for the cell phone. Not a lot of diversity, but there's a lot of change in the features. So that means you've got to figure that every couple of years you're going to have to update your product if you're in a market like the cell phone market, but you don't need a wide range of products. Now let's look at something like fishing tackle. Fishing tackle, if you're a fisherman and you look at the ads, well, it seems every year somebody's got a new kind of fishing tackle out there, so you got to have something new every year if you're going to catch the largemouth bass out here on the boat. You got to have better fishing tackle, although I always like worms myself, and so you got to remember that what was there in the past is still competition for you, but nonetheless, there's a more rapid turnover. Maybe fishing tackle's not the best example, but you get the idea. Many diversified products, wide product families, lots of change. Very fast change. Then there are markets like screwdrivers that change very slowly. We looked at screwdrivers in competition. We can see there's a lot of different ones, but they don't change that fast. They just introduce new varieties, new kinds of them, but you still buy the old kinds and they still sell the old kinds. And finally, there's some markets that change really, really slow. My favorite example is the hoe. You use the same hoe that your father used, your grandfather. Now wait a second, don't think that way. I'm talking about this thing you dig in the ground with. You use the same garden hoe that your grandfather used and has been used since antiquity. It's just a design that has endured. Changes very slowly. So when you think about these rates of change, that influences when that window of opportunity is going to close. New technology comes out, that may close it. End users' needs change, that may close it. All series of reasons why they can close. But historically, there tend to be product life cycles, and you can look at the product life cycles that apply to the practices you're selling into, the market niches you're in, and get an idea of how long you have to really milk your product and to run through the product life cycle before you're going to have to replace that product with a new one if you want to continue selling. Well, that's enough about windows of opportunity to give you sort of an idea of how to think about it. I'll be back in a little while with another session where we'll talk about something else.